All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the free. Good morning, and welcome to the free daily coaching hangout. This is a free hangout that we do Monday through Friday. We do it at 7 a.m. Pacific time, so that's 10 a.m. Eastern time. And what we're doing here on free daily coaching is providing an opportunity for you to be able to tap into marketing resources, small business resources for you to go out and develop your business, to be able to grow your business, bring it to the next level, and be able to do it and have solutions, have a place to go, and have a place on a regular basis to tap into, to be able to start tapping into those solutions. So this morning we're going to do Wednesday work-throughs. And so this morning what I wanted to do, because we've just restarted the free daily coaching series, is I wanted to do any work-throughs with anyone that has any questions on any of the marketing and any of the things that they're doing right now, that they're going through right now. Maybe someone's having an issue getting something connected. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to Elizabeth, Chris, Debbie, Chris over in the chat. Good morning to all of you. So that's my first concern for this week, for today. I'm just happy. I'm just a good morning. So the reason for this week's just walking it through work-throughs on Wednesday is so that everyone is up to speed. Everyone feels that they're caught up, if you will, in their business, so that we can move forward as a group, moving forward in free daily coaching. And we're going to do this on a weekly basis. We're going to come back on Wednesdays, and we're going to do this on a regular basis. When we don't have a guest, if we don't have someone to interview, then what we'll do is we'll do a Wednesday work through, and we'll do this, maybe once a month, where we stop and we say, okay, is there any questions that people have thus far in what they're doing? Is there any parts of what they're doing that they need assistance in? So we have someone that has a question on something that they're using on their marketing system. So they've been messaging me, and I'm trying to get back with them. So let me see if we can do that, and if so, we'll get them on the line. Otherwise, I'm going to open it up and look for some raised hands. If there's anyone out there right now that needs to just be work through something, if there's something going on that you need to actually push through and get worked through, then go ahead and let me know. And I will hang out on here for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and all right, so let me just check really quick. All right, I don't see any hands going up, so I'm going to, and I can't get a hold of this person. They messaged me this morning and then are not messaging me back right now, so I'm not sure. So on the Wednesday work-throughs, the whole idea is to make it interactive, and that's why I'm doing it via the webinar platform, so that we can do share screens and really have it interactive. But no one seems to be raising their hands. Everyone seems to be A-okay and kosher, and everyone's thumbs up, so that's good. That's a good sign, and that's a positive. I always like to see that, so that as we move forward, we know that everyone is kind of on the same page. So I'm not seeing any hands go up, so what that's telling me is that we're going to be on a positive vibe moving forward, especially on Tuesdays. On our Tech Tip Tuesdays, we're going to be able to bring some new things that you'll be able to then add into the mix if you want to, right? Additional things that you could bring into the fold if you'd like to. And the reason I'm saying that I'll be able to do that, and I know that I'll be able to do that, is simply because if you're already up to speed, right? If you're already feeling comfortable where you're at right now, then adding a little bit at a time is going to be perfect, right? It's going to be a perfect addition to just keep layering on to what it is that you already have. And then what we'll do is we'll keep our interviews happening on a regular basis, and then we'll have work throughs. We'll have a work through day on a monthly basis where we can have live question and answers, where people can come out and say, okay, hold on, you know what? I've been doing this thing from Tech Tip Tuesday from the last couple weeks, but I can't seem to get this hooked up. Or, hey, you know, I followed that training that you did last Thursday, and you spoke about XYZ, but this doesn't make sense to me. How can I get this worked out? That's what this Wednesday work throughs will be for. And so it'll be it's for you on an individual basis to be able to come and tap into just live Q&A. Like, hey, this is a time when I have live Q&A. So for example, I have someone that's asking me a specific question. They want me to go over something specifically. And the reason that I have a group platform and that I'm doing this in a group setting is so that everyone can benefit from this question. So if you don't bring the question to me in front of the group and you do it and you want to have it like be some other time, private call, other thing, then it's what you're doing is really two things. A, you're taking away from everyone else that's having that same challenge, right? So they're not getting that solution. And then B, you're really kind of like taking time, right? It's like you're taking extra time because that time could have been used on a group level. And when it's used on an individual level, it has to be done multiple times. So not just for you as an individual, but imagine if you're teaching it to one person, that means more people are going to want to know it, right? If you're teaching something to one person, this will be your takeaway for the day, is that if you're teaching it to one person, there's probably a dozen other people that need to know that information. So now if you're going to teach that information on a one-on-one basis, just one by one by one, then it's going to be like a time suck for you, right? Because you're going to be taking an hour of time where you could have done a webinar or a group event and told 12 people. You're now going to do that 12 individual times. That's going to take you a day and a half worth of work when you could have done it in an hour, right? It could have just been a beginning of your day. So you have to really think about when you're doing things, how to maximize your time when you're helping other people. Right? Because yes, you want to be helping people, absolutely 100%. While doing that, you have to remember that your time is valuable, and for you to accomplish the tasks that you want to get accomplished on a regular basis, then it's required for you, right? Then you need to make sure and ensure that you're watching your time and managing your time really well. So I'm not sure if someone has their hand raised because they have, I'm going to put the hands down, and then raise your hand again. Did you have your hand raised because you have something that you wanted to work through? And if so, then just raise your hand again. I just saw the hand raised, so we can go over that. I'm waiting for my person. All right, so that hand did not go back up. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so go ahead here. I'll open up the Q&A. Go ahead, Chris. Is it something that you want to type in, or just go type in your question real quick, or I can bring you over in a second here. And we have another question that's coming over, so let me get you. And I'll bring you over, Chris, and you can do your question. Then we have someone over that's coming over, and we're going to do a work through on some marketing that they're doing. So we'll bring over Chris Schaus. She has something. And then we have someone else that's working on, actually, this person is creating an opt-in sales funnel for their marketing. And something's not working. So we're going to go in and work through on that. So Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
What is your work through?
I have always been confused about where you host a PDF. You know how this new Periscope training has a 23-page PDF with it?
Okay.
Where do I put that?
So most of the times, if you create a PDF, or if you have a PDF itself that you want to give to people, most of the time you're gonna host that on your blog.
Okay.
Right? You would upload it like you would media onto your blog.
Okay.
Like you would a picture or video or something like that, so onto your personal blog, because you have to have, because it's media, it's still like media, right? Think about it like, think of a PDF as like, it's like a picture, really, right?
Yeah.
It's like a picture of a document, right? Because you can't change the PDF usually, they're not interactive, right? So think of the PDF as like it's like a picture of a document that you want to have on your website, so you can host it over onto your on your blog is the easiest way, and then you can have a link, you know, and then you can just link back to it. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. But what about if, and I haven't gone through the funnel or the Periscope training that has the PDF attached to it. Is it already attached?
I have no idea. I haven't gone through that training. I don't use Periscope on a regular basis, so I don't know. So you kind of, it's almost like you answered your own question though, because you said, well, I haven't gone through the training yet, so I don't know. So go through the training, and he probably shows you, hey, this is where I attach it. He'll probably, or he or she, it depends if it's April's training, if it's April Marie Tucker doing it, then she probably goes through and shows you, hey, this is where I host the PDF. Right? So just go and watch that training, but that would be my guess. And I'll tell you the reason why I haven't done the Periscope training, and I want everyone on this call to hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Periscope isn't an amazing platform. It probably is, right? I've used it a few times. What I would encourage for all of you to do is use one marketing platform until you're getting solid results. Like solid. And when I mean solid results, I don't mean just generating leads. I mean you're generating leads and then converting those leads into actual clients and paying customers, people that are buying things that you're selling, right? Because that's what most of us are doing online. Once you've mastered that, once you've actually are getting results, right? You're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm on Facebook and I'm social networking, or I'm making YouTube videos, or I'm periscoping, whatever you decide. Use one and then move to the next one, and then to the next one, and to the next one, and so on and so forth. So the reason I'm saying that is because I haven't gone through the Periscope training, because I've mastered one, maybe two of these skill sets that I apply to my business. And so instead of going and learning this new thing that's probably not going to be around in a couple, in another year or two anyway, instead of learning something brand new, I'm just going to keep on focusing on the ones that I do know how to do, because check this out, by refining something that I'm already doing and getting results, I'm going to improve tremendously. Like by refining that, the jump in results I'm going to get is big compared to going down here and starting something new, right? And learning this new thing, because down here, the learning curve is going to be huge. Over here, where I've already learned something and I have a good base, refining it, I'm going to get a better result. It's the same concept, right, Chris? Remember this idea that I know Diane has talked about, how Hockman has talked about this a lot, and I know other people have used this reference. It's like if you could pick a skill set that you're already an 8 at, or a 7, and become an 8 or a 9, would you rather do that, or would you rather go pick something that you're like a 2 at and try to become a 4? Right? I'm going to max everything out. This is how I think of it, Chris. I think of it as a video game, and I think of it as like, you remember in the days when you could, and I don't know if you remember this, Chris, but I'm going to use this reference. But remember when you had like a character on a game and you had like speed and strength and health and other things, and they had like little bars like 1 through 5, and every time you like leveled up you could add more strength or more speed or more health, right? I'm gonna max out my stuff and get to 9s or 10s on everything before I start adding new things, because there's no reason to have 20 things that I'm a 2 at, right? You see check this out. I'm being real, guys and gals. This is the reality. You see the people that have 20 different skill sets that are 2s all over. They're everywhere, right? Think about it. You'll see them everywhere. And then think about the people that you know that have honed in and done 1 or 2 things, and they did it really good until they got a massive result. Then they started branching out. When I say Ray Higdon, what do you think of? Blogging machine, right? You think that guy blogged like a machine, like an animal, like a beast on the regular, right? You don't think of YouTube. You think of blogging. When you think of Mark Harbert, you think of YouTube, right? When you think of Diane Hockman, you think of attraction marketing, right? When you think of Gary Vaynerchuk, you think of a guy that doesn't give a fuck. Excuse my bad word, but I'm allowed to use it because I'm talking about Gary Vaynerchuk, right? That's what you think about when you think about Gary Vaynerchuk. You think about brashness. You think about an East Coast guy that doesn't give a rat's ass about what anyone else thinks. He's on a mission to go out and buy the New York Jets. That's his mission in life. He wants to make enough money to buy the New York Jets, and he doesn't care what he has to do that. And I don't mean he doesn't care, meaning he'll break rules. I mean he doesn't care what he has to do in his business to get the attention required to get to his end goal. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk is good at one thing, being Gary Vaynerchuk. He's not trying to be Gary Vaynerchuk and be Steve Jobs and be Elon Musk and be the guy that makes up the new Twitter, Blab, Periscope, social media widget, right? That's not him. So he focuses on what he's good at. So hopefully I gave a couple different examples of this same idea. Does that make sense, Chris?
It does.
And I wasn't trying to beat that to death, and I wasn't trying to beat you up on saying don't go do that Periscope. I wanted to give I wanted you guys to have a solid understanding of why I don't go into all of these trainings in depth. Now, that doesn't mean I don't come by on Wednesday nights when people are talking about it, on a Tuesday night when people are talking about the training, and I don't go check it out and go learn about the concept, the idea that they're using, right? I want to know about the ideas and the marketing philosophies that they're using and see maybe if I can apply some of what they're doing to what I'm already doing to refine my process. So, make sense, Chris?
It makes sense. I would like to add some value to my blog.
Yeah. So go and watch that training for sure, and she'll show you probably in there. If she doesn't or he doesn't, I'm guessing that's the one that April did. If she doesn't show you in there, then let's do that as a call. Let's do that as a Tech Tip Tuesday. So write that down on your Tech Tip Tuesday list. And let's have a list that you and I can go back and forth. And this is for everyone that's watching. If there's a tech thing that you don't know, that you don't understand, maybe you've done it before, write it down, send me a message, send me an email. Let's go over it on let's go over it next Tuesday on Tech Tip Tuesday. Okay, let's do that. Now, we have another work through this morning. We have Heidi Kakamisi here. Heidi's working on building good morning, Heidi. Heidi's working on building a capture page and a funnel, right? She's created a lead magnet, and I'm just prepping you guys so you guys know what's going into it, okay? So that you know that we're talking about all different kinds of things. So Chris Schaus was talking about Periscope training, how to add a PDF, right? That's something she's trying to work through. So we pointed it to the right solution, right? Because she already knew the question and she had the answer, but now we just pointed her to that answer, right? Now Heidi's coming. Heidi's question is on a work through on her she's using a marketing platform. Okay, so she's created some capture pages. She's integrated her autoresponder. She's gotten the copy written, right? So she's gotten the frameworks of everything built, but for some reason there's an error. She's getting an error, like something's not connected, but she knows it's connected, right? So she's watched the videos. So now I want you guys to all realize how this process worked. Heidi had a question. She was doing some work. She messaged me with a question, said, Bert, I got a question. I said, all right, what's the question? She said, here's the question. and it was a technical question, right? And she explained as much as she could in a text about the technical question. I said, okay, that sounds like something I'm probably going to need to see it to help you, right? So we tried to connect yesterday. We weren't able to do that. So now we're on work through Wednesday. Boom, what a better work through to do than to bring it here. This is what I was talking about earlier on the call, is this is going to be valuable not just for Heidi now, because someone else that's here this morning is going to go, oh man, I did that, right? And guess what? Heidi's going to get a phone call one day that says, I did this, this, and this, and I can't figure it out. And Heidi's going to say, oh, I know, I did that too. And then this is the beautiful part. Heidi's not going to have to get on the phone with that person. She's going to be able to reference right here to this Google Hangout, to this video, and she's going to say, skip the first, whatever, 12 minutes or 20 minutes and go right to minute 25 and watch the last 4 minutes, and it will walk you through exactly, right? Or Heidi can go and film that last 4 minutes and have her own version of it on her YouTube, so whenever anyone asks that question, she could just push the button. And I want you guys to all see how much more powerful this is than if I had not messaged Heidi back this morning right away. I would have to hang up this call when you guys are done, and then I'll have to go and get on another call with Heidi. And not that I don't like Heidi or I don't want to work with Heidi, but then only Heidi gets to benefit from it. You guys all miss it, and I'm another 40 minutes into my workday, right? For something that everyone could have benefited from. Right? And because the whole time I'm teaching Heidi it, I'm thinking to the back of my head, oh man, we should record this. Right? So Heidi, let's do, I highlighted you, so we're going to see your screen. So I want you to go up to the left-hand side, go over to that green monitor with the white arrow, and go to that screen share, and share your entire screen. That's one big peacock feather on the back wall there. And then go ahead and open up your marketing tool so that we can go to that funnel, and we'll jump into that. You have enough tabs open there.
Yeah, that needs to be cleaned up.
Okay, so you have two. Okay, so just stop right for 1 second. Right next to this tab, you have another tab open for this application. So you don't want to have two tabs for the same application open at the same time, because it doesn't know which one to save and which one not to. So make sure that you just have one tab open for that funnelizer, and then let's go back into that funnel. Okay, so just go ahead and open up the funnel that you actually want to work on.
Should I edit it, I guess? Can you hear me, Bert?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
okay. Now, running, page running.
And I did a variation, or I thought, and I think the first one's running okay. Like when I click on the URL, it comes up live, but when I input my information to test it to go to email, it doesn't seem to be connected to the email responder.
Okay, so go over to okay, so both of those have green arrows, so they look like they're good. Up on they both look like they're started because they have the green start arrow, and then over to the right it shows running. So that part looks like it's good. So go down into the edit section there. Okay, click into the actual email box where you enter your name, and then go to the edit integration. Oh, right there, select actions. Okay, so it's connected to Aweber. It's not connected to the MLSP system, so if you're just connecting it to your autoresponder and not connecting it to the CRM, that's one reason. Okay. And then the second reason is the action says do nothing, so it literally does nothing when they enter this page. So they're not going anywhere. They're just going onto your Aweber list, and then that's it.
Well, that's all I wanted them to do, because the link for the webinar is going to be in the first email. There's no page attached to this.
Okay, so then that's it. So then you can have do nothing, and then I would have the okay. So then that should be okay. So then go and go send me just copy the URL for this and send it to me in Facebook, and we'll go through and we'll see what it gives us.
Okay, and then the other one, let me go back. What's the easiest way to go back to work?
Just hit funnelizer at the top.
Okay. So the other problem was,
All right, let's not go to there yet. Let's just fix this first one and see what's going on first here.
okay, because what happened is the variation one, when I copy and paste that link, that's when I get that gremlin screen.
Okay, well, don't copy and paste. You're not supposed to copy and paste. All you're supposed to do is just copy the main link. It's going to do the variation by itself automatically. So just send me the main link in a Facebook message right now.
Oh, right now? Okay.
Yeah, right now, so I can go test it.
So,
Just get URL. There we go. And then
that's
just copy that.
Okay.
Yep.
Copy. Find. Oh, there's Bert down there. Paste.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you off of screen share. All right. So what we'll do here is I'll do a screen share for you guys so you can see.
And Bert, can you
Heidi,
hear me?
stop sharing your screen for a second there.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I set up a new email responder where just the first couple emails will be different than the other one I did. So it's set up, but I haven't moved over the emails yet, so I don't really have an email to go to it. Is that going to be a problem?
Well, yeah. If do you have it set to a list?
Yeah, but there's nothing on that list yet. But I tested it on a real list too, and it wasn't working either.
Okay, so it shows that I have subscribed. So then and then I just got the email, so it works. So everything works.
Oh shit! Shoot.
So all you're doing, okay, so what you're doing is you're trying to go directly to another page that's not, the page isn't published on its own. It's like being flip-flopped. So the next time I go to that website, it might show me the different capture page. If you have two different capture pages running, it's going to do it on its own.
So when you're doing variations, you don't pick and choose which one. You're throwing out there.
You're running the variations. So go back to share your screen and go back into Funnelizer, and I'll show you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So variations is like a fancy way of saying split testing.
So if you wanted to run one for a couple weeks and then run another, you would actually set up two different capture pages and not do it as a variation.
Or you could just pause one of the variations.
Oh, okay.
So go back to Funnelizer tab, because I'm just watching myself.
Okay.
Okay, so close that. Go into the edit, like you're going to edit that funnel. Go back. Just hit the back arrow page. And right-click on the funnel, like you did, and hit View Results. So you can see that it's been viewed 3 times, this page, and you got 2 unique conversions. Go to the, so this is capture page 1. So see up top in the right corner where it says variation, in the right, click down and put recruit effortlessly. 1 visitor, 1 unique. So you've gotten 1 visitor to that one and 2 to the other one.
Okay. So they're working. I just didn't see it.
It's simply a matter of going to the, and go ahead and stop sharing your screen again. It's simply a matter of you're trying to go directly to the separate variation, and that's not how it works. Okay. The link itself is flipping between the 2 different pages you have.
Okay, I got it.
And you can look and say, oh, this one works better than that one, right? Or you could just pause one variation and just let it run and then see what the results are, right? But the best is just to let it run its course and let it flip between the 2, and then you'll see which one gets, if 1,000 people go and see that link, it's going to show 500 and 500, right? Because there's only 2, so it's splitting between 2. So if each one of them sees 500, you're going to see out of that 500, well, I got a 20% opt-in rate on this page and a 12% opt-in rate on this page. I'm going with the 20%.
So technically I did it right, I just didn't understand the mechanics of how it works.
Yeah, it's totally working right. Yeah, you just didn't understand the mechanics. So because, okay, so this is so important. So because you didn't understand the mechanics, you thought the functionality was broken, when in reality the functionality was occurring correctly. You just didn't understand what was happening. So this is a common problem. Okay, not just for you, Heidi, but in general in business, this is a problem that we see, or a challenge that we see happen all the time. Okay, Chris just mentioned this same challenge in another way, right? Hey, I want to upload this in a roundabout way. It was the same challenge, right? Hey, I have this idea. I want to upload a PDF to my website or something. I saw a training that talked about it. How do you do that? But she hadn't watched the training yet. Right? So she has an idea in her mind, but she doesn't have the knowledge on the back end to like finish that idea like to fruition. You did it the same. You had enough knowledge. You actually completed the whole idea to fruition, except for then where your tumble was upon examination. Upon examination, you didn't have enough background information, so it was like if you didn't know about cars and you looked inside of the engine. And you're like, listen, okay, like this is a great example. Have you ever heard those cars that go really fast, just like quarter-mile cars? The funny cars, when you hear them running, they're like, they're firing so hard, the cylinders and stuff, that they're going, right? Like you can hear the cylinders like firing, like. If you didn't know anything about cars, you might walk up and hear that and go, hey, dude, this thing is way too loud. This is knocking like way crazy, right? Because we don't have enough background information. We're like, hey, dude, you better shut this thing down. It's about to blow. Right? Like, that's what you did. You're like, whoa, 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 funnel's broken. What's going on? I'm getting gremlins. But you were like, it was like you snuck in the back door from the air valve of the cave that you made, and you were like, I don't know why this cave is not a cave. And you're like, no, it's totally a cave. You're spelunking through the air shaft. Right? The reason it doesn't look like a cave is because you're in the air shaft. That's why. So the reason it wasn't working, quote unquote, was because you were trying to look at something that was like you were trying to go somewhere where it was like you were going into a locked door. Mm-hmm. And that was just a not knowing, that was just a knowledge base.
Right.
But you didn't know because you didn't know.
I have two other questions, Bert.
Okay, go ahead.
One quick one. When you're doing variations, should you just do a couple, or is there a logic to doing 2, 3, 4, 5?
Okay, so this is a personal preference deal. If you talk to a guy like Rob Four, Rob will do like 10 different headlines on the same exact page. He'll have everything exactly the same, and he'll try 10 headlines to see what headline works the best, because what he thinks will be the best one is usually not the best one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you'll do a guy like Rob, or he'll do like the exact same capture page. Everything is the same except for 10 different headlines, and he'll start that process that way, right? Then he'll find the best headline. Then he'll do 10 different colors on the page, right? Then out of that one, he'll do, right, and like he's just tweaking it like that. Some people will just do 2, A and B, and then whichever one out of A and B wins, then they keep that one and bring the next one to test against, and then the same. So you could do it either way. It's really what do you feel more comfortable with. Some people see Rob's way, or the way that Rob likes to use, and like 10 different things at once, and they see that as like overwhelming and too much to manage, right? Where some people see the 2 option as more focused and more concise, where they can really manage it better, right?
Well,
so it depends
also on how many people you have to put in front of it too. If you have a small following or whatever, putting 10 of them out is going to take you longer to get any results.
Exactly.
Right?
So why not just try small and just do 2, and then you can, because out of 2 you can see, because when you get 10 results, you can see, okay, I only got 1 opt-in out of 10. This sucks. That's 10%. That's horrible, right? Like, that sucks. You're like, hey, this is bad. 1 out of 10 is bad, right? You're like, that's not good. So you already know going into it, like, hey, if I don't mess with this one right now, it's already not good. It's already going to suck. I need to make it better. right?
And what I did for the split test, actually, I left the text exactly the same. I actually used 2 different capture pages.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can
Is
see
that
which
okay
page
too?
works better. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
after that, then you can check the
right.
text.
Okay.
Right? So that's perfect. Okay, so
Okay.
what's the other question?
That was it.
All right, that's it, guys. So we did a couple different workthroughs. We talked about literally, we didn't really all we talked about really was going and following directions all the way through and making sure that we know all of the information. That's the key. If we don't know all the information, we're going to be making decisions and we're going to be doing things based on inaccurate information, right? It would be like trying to make toast and someone told you how to make toast, but the only way they told you how to do it was in a waffle machine. We're like, how would you ever make toast? You know what I mean? You'd never have toast. It would never come out right because you didn't have all the real directions. You knew waffles are in breakfast time, and they do get hot on both sides. Like theoretically, you could toast bread in a waffle machine, right? That's a reality that could happen, but you're not going to get toast, like real nice toast out of it, right? So you need to know the back end. You got to know all the information. So for Chris's solution was simple because she can go right to a training that probably offers up the solution, the answer, right? For Heidi's was simply a tech issue that just simply needed someone else's eyeballs on, and a lot of times that's in this business where you're working online, that's simply the answer. It's simply sometimes you just have to have another pair of eyeballs to look at something because especially when you've looked at it 100 times, you've gone over it, right? It's like when you've looked for something in your house 27 times, you just need someone else to go over to your desk and look at the desk and pick up the object because you can't see the object, right? Because you're blinded. It's the same kind of idea, right? You've looked at it so many times, you're like, listen, I've gone through all the steps, I've done all the things, I don't know what it is. That's when you do what we did today and you bring it over to a call, you bring it to the group and say, okay, listen, this is what I've done, I'm pretty sure it's right, what the heck's going on here? And then you find out, yeah, you were right. You were totally, everything was right. You were just trying to get fancy and go right to a link that wasn't really a link, right? So you can see that people are seeing that page. And so the other thing you could do, Heidi, too, is you could just go and, so one of the links that you have is the beach background.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Go one more time to your funnelizer. I want to see something.
See it?
Yeah, change the, okay, just refresh this page. Okay, so go up to the drop-down menu and hit that one. Yeah. One. Okay, now hit preview page on this one. Okay, close that tab.
How do I close the preview?
Yeah, just close preview. Or just close this whole tab so we can go to the other tab inside of Funnelizer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then go to the other page on the drop-down menu there, and preview that page. Okay, boom. All right. So go back. Okay, go back to the Funnelizer itself. Just click on Funnelizer. Okay, right click on the bottom funnel there. and just put get URL. Okay, close that, and then edit this funnel. Okay, click on the, no, don't do that. Just close this page. Just close this tab. Okay, yep, go back.
I jumped ahead, sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so now on the top left where it says capture page 1, go click on the right one. But no, click on the one that says recruit effortlessly. Recruit. Okay, go back over to the one on the left. All right, it's the same one. All right, so that's good. I just want to make sure that it was giving you the same.
Yeah, and I noticed actually if I'm on this one and then I hit get URLs, that second URL is different because I put recruit more reps here. And so I'm assuming that's when it's dictating like where it's going to one or the other. See, that one's a different, that second one's different. So that's what I was trying to click on, and I was getting the gremlin.
Created a second page somehow, and it shouldn't be. That's why it's not probably toggling between the two.
I never created a second page. I don't think I did. I did it through here, through this page. Like I started out with the second variation, and I hit edit, and I chose the next capture page and went through that process.
So when did you add that second tag? Go down to hit the edit gear. No, the edit gear over on the right. Hit get URL. So copy that bottom one and send that to me.
And this one works. It should take you to that Starlight one. Let me go to Facebook and send that to you.
But almost positive that's why it's two different links. So I think something needs to be changed because when you go directly to that page, it doesn't want to take you for sure. And I've gone to the other page and it doesn't ever give me a variation. So let's go in and do a screen share where I can actually control your screen, Heidi.
Okay.
And Chris, if you want to write this down on Tech Tip Tuesdays, we'll show variations. Or not even on Tech Tip Tuesdays. This will be something that, yeah, we can do it on a Tech Tip Tuesday. Just we'll do variations.
So now what do I do?
Nothing. I'll have to join in where I can actually control your screen in a second. So, so that's it for the call today, guys. When we get you see that there's part of the solution. We know we can go to the main page, but we can't go to that second variation. So what we'll do is on next Tech Tip Tuesday, we'll come back and show the workaround so that I can show you exactly how we did this, and we'll make that up for our next Tech Tip Tuesday call. So thanks for joining us today on Work Through Wednesdays. For those of you that are part of regulars here at Free Daily Coaching, for those of you that are either Mastery members of My Lead System Pro and I'm your referring member, or you're a friend of Free Daily Coaching and you're doing the Friends of Free Daily Coaching program, we'll be doing a session this afternoon. So for those of you that are part of that, I'll see you this afternoon. The rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow on Free Daily Coaching. Talk to you then.
Thanks, Bert.